Uh-oh.
It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
You know me, the upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
Always and forever, who? Mike
Mike
Jones.
Jones. And this is 234 Sports Talk. Fellas, let's talk about it. Let's talk
Let's talk
about it.
about it.
All right, big story. Denver Broncos fired their head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, after 4-11 start. Fellas, when we look at this, do you think that, and we want to really examine this, do you think that it's the coach or do you think it's Mr. Wilson? Who's to blame for the Denver Broncos looking so bad this season?
I think it's a culmination of a lot of things that they didn't think through all the way, completely as an organization. Number one, if you're going to bring in a guy like Russell Wilson, you got to put pieces in play so that Russell can be successful. Now, he walked into a situation where this dude is running for his life every play because there's no offensive line. I thought that would have been addressed first and foremost if you're talking about going to get a high-end quarterback. You got to be able to protect him, and you got to get him targets. So a lot of times this is looking like this is an epic fail on upper management. You're going to put some of the blame on coaching because some of the schematics is what their coaches are bringing in to run. And apparently it's not working because the record is reflective of it's not working. So I think this is just an upper management failure to put everything into play that they needed to put into play, because I think they just thought, well, we bring in Russ. Russ is going to save us, and that didn't happen. So they got to look at revamping the whole schematics, get an offensive line, get some targets, get some wide receivers. The defense is, they spend a lot of time on the field, so you can't really judge the defense off up front. But I think offensively they had an epic failure on upper management part to put everything into play. What you got on an MJ?
Yeah, I agree with you, Thomas. You know, it's funny, man, that nowadays when they hire these coaches, you know, a lot of these young coaches, man. Well, I'm not gonna say young coaches, but these new coaches, they having a hard time making it a whole season. I'm not really so sold on just firing a head coach year one like that. You know, and I agree, it could be a combination of Russell, and it could be a combination of the coaches, the coaching staff. So you know, I don't know, as a general manager or you know just manager of that team, I might have would have told him, look, man, see what you can get done on this offensive side of the ball. Make some changes in your coaching, you know, and we're gonna try this thing one more year, man. But you know, and Russell, he's definitely had his hand in it because he's missed some open receivers, you know,
Ain't no
and
doubt.
don't know exactly what he's dealing with if he's seeing a whole lot. As you know, sometimes you've been in a system for so long and you used to doing things a certain kind of way, and then you throw in this playbook. Now I know he's a pretty intelligent guy, so you know, I don't. I'm not for sure if learning the playbook was an issue, but yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't like a head coach being fired in the first year, but you know, the NFL is kind of like college now, man. Everybody's trying to win, and they trying to win now. And so, if you're not producing as a coach, that's the easiest piece to let go, as opposed to a player that's under these contracts. So, yeah, he's got to get some work done in there, and they're gonna have to figure out who they're gonna get, because if they get another coach, just like the coach that just left, I mean, you're doing yourself no justice. I mean, granted, you're probably moving the system around a little bit, and maybe that's maybe what they need. But I don't like the fire, but it is what it is.
I think I agree with you a whole 100%. I think with when you bring in a brand new head coach, my thing would be to give him 3 years, because 9 times out of 10, depending upon what he's going to run, he may not have the personnel he wants to run what he wants to run. Give him a chance to get his personnel together and then see what happens once he gets who he wants. Let's see what progress you make when you get what you want.
And Denver kind of went through that one time before with Tim Tebow. Tebow, they didn't like what they wanted, but that was what the coach had to work with.
Exactly.
And when they was able to get another piece, which was Peyton Manning, was available, see how it made a big difference in that team. So, it's like you said, you inherit. It's not like in college, you know what I'm saying? People, they do their year or 2 years, 3 years, and then they go. Sometimes those players on those NFL rosters are there for 10, 15 years, and that's what you got.
Exactly.
Okay, so fellas, possible candidates, and I'm with you. I think that I feel like this. They should bring in a proven head coach. I don't think they should bring in any offensive, defensive coordinators. Any first year, head coaches, guys as far as getting experience first year, guys that don't have the coaching experience. I think they should bring in somebody that's proven, that's a proven winner. And I think that that's what they need to turn this thing around. What's your take on that?
The first name that I think that could turn them around, and I listened to a talk show this morning, said it was a bad fit for him. I disagree. But I believe that Sean Payton could turn that program around. He's an innovative mind when it comes to offense, and he's going to take, like he did with Drew Brees, he's going to take his strengths and maximize his strengths and put pieces in play so that he can maximize his strength. So I believe Sean Payton will be a good fit for what that system needs. What you got on it, Jay?
Yeah, I'm like this, man. I've always been an offensive-minded guy, whether it's basketball or football. So if I'm Denver, I'm going after an offensive-minded coach. Because if you can score points, first of all, that's gonna bring the fans to the stand. And then you always got a fighting chance with a great offense. And you got it with defense too. But I think if I can get like you said, a Sean Payton in there, man, that he's offensive minded, but he's well rounded though.
Absolutely.
He ain't just only, but I think he's more X's and O's. But I think he could sit and hire in the right people on the defensive side to get them going. But and I think a lot of time in my thinking, because Denver offense was very pitiful this past season, and maybe that's why I'm looking at the offensive side of the ball. But I think the defense, you got something to work with right there.
Their defense is scrappy. It's not complete, but it's scrappy.
Right.
But when you got no offense, you're gonna spend a lot of time on the field. So it's pointless.
And then, like you said, football, you try you got to win in all three phases. That's offensive, defensive, and special teams.
Yep. And
I know Sean Payton, man, he definitely can cook up some stuff on special teams. So I wouldn't mind seeing him, and for me also, I wouldn't mind seeing a person of color into one of those coach vacancies. But Denver, man, it can be a hard place to play because it's not Tampa and it's not LA. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna deal with some cold temperatures out there. So throwing that ball and catching that ball can be a little difficult sometime in December. So you gotta make sure you getting the right coach to come in there though.
And also don't forget the expectation in Denver is to win like now, because Elway spoiled them with that, and Peyton Manning spoiled them with that. So they're used to winning. They're not winning right now. They haven't been winning for a few years now. So they're getting hungry for some wins over there. So they're going to want some instant gratification like right now, as far as the Denver fans go.
Yep. The last game they played, fellas, it was a total embarrassment. You all
51-14, they didn't even show up.
The Rams. Listen, the Rams. I know the Rams defending champions, but the Rams have not looked good this year. Have not looked good at all. Matter of fact, when they played the Packers, they really didn't look good. But then they turned around and they beat the Denver Broncos 51-14. 51, man. This is insane. That's why I say, when you look at it, all right, let's look at Russell Wilson's numbers, 15-27 for 214 yards. But one TD, he had 3 interceptions. So when we look at it, do you guys feel as if Russell Wilson is on a decline? What's going on with Mr. Wilson?
I watched a little bit of that game, and let me tell you, what I talked about earlier is absolute. The Rams blew that into 3,000 pieces, dude. Their offensive line got destroyed that game. Russell Wilson ran for his life that entire game. Russ is Houdini sometimes, but you make him do it all the time, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means there's no offensive continuity. There's no way for him to find a target because you're always under duress. It doesn't work. It's a bad brand of football. They got work to do. They got a lot of work to do. If I'm Denver right now, these last 2 games, I don't even play Russell Wilson. I take a look at what my backup looks like and put him in game time situations and get him in-game experience because we know you're not going to make the playoffs. The playoffs is out the picture. So why, if this is your multi-million-dollar quarterback, you're not going to make the playoffs, why even play him the last 2 games? Just me. Heck, I wouldn't have played him this last game when they played the Rams. I wouldn't think I'd have played Russell Wilson. I'd have played my backup.
Yeah, I agree, Thomas. You can be Houdini sometime, but you can't be Houdini. Every game that I watched, Denver, and I haven't seen Denver a lot, but when I have seen them, Russell is running around, man. You know, at least in Seattle, he was running around and he knew he had some targets that was eventually gonna pop open. Them boys ain't getting no separation, even when a play breaks down. They can't even get no separation. Like you said, he hiked the ball. Before he can even cock the ball back, they on his arm. He can't run up the middle. He can't, what I don't understand is all of these guys that are in the NFL, they gotta be good enough to make it to that level. How is it that they can't sit and do their jobs? I don't put that all on Russell. Granted, like I said, Russell, he had his start of his career, man. He overachieved, I thought, man. And I think now he's counting. Russell ain't no young cat, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no young dude right now. And to take a beating like that, but I'm not gonna say he's declined. I just think he's kind of he's at an older age, man. But and with a broke down line, he can't be. He's not as fast and shifty like he was back in the day. I give that. So if you're looking at a decline from that area, yeah, he's not that same guy. But I don't put it all on him. I think he's okay. You just gotta get him a line, get him a good offensive coordinator, get him some receivers. Hey, and then maybe the boy can cook. Maybe we can ride with him.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier about an epic fail on management's part. When you bring in a stud like Russell Wilson, you got to make sure all the pieces in play. Because number one, like you just said, the key piece to an offense is your offensive line. You can't do anything without offensive line. Period. Point blank. And like you said, there's no separation with the receivers. So how good are these receivers? Like you said, if they're able to get in the league, how hard are you working at running routes? What's your route tree strength? What's your hands like? Granted, there are times Russell Wilson missed wide open catch. There's no excuse for that. But the instances where he does get it there, you have to catch the football. Knowing that your offense is struggling, you have to catch the football. As you saw with, like, for example, with Green Bay. guys, Aaron Rodgers went through the struggles of, dude, you got to catch the ball. I'm putting on the money. You got to catch the ball. So half of the problem is you got to catch the ball when you're targeted and it hits you in the hands. You got to catch the ball because you're a struggling offense. So they just got to get some pieces for us. Key piece they got to get his offensive line. That's key.
Right. You know, and I haven't paid much attention to what the running back is doing. Is the running game doing anything? You know, because if they're not doing it,
offensive line is not opening up any holes at all. Period. Point blank. This dude is getting swallowed up by the time he gets the ball in the backfield. He's getting swallowed.
Yeah, because see, you know, that's a quarterback best friend right there, a running game. And if you ain't got no semblance of running game,
you stuck.
Man, I'll be in a concussion protocol every week, knowing I ain't going out there.
Man, listen. I'm not gonna run for my life every play. Come on, man. You gotta do when you're gonna take ownership because you got to block. Come on, man.
Right.
Well, fellas, something had to happen out there. If you all are familiar with what's been going on, the fan base is really upset. The matter of fact, everybody's fighting. The team's fighting each other, you know, because when you know how it is, when you take a beating, you get frustrated. And then you start looking at your teammates. You didn't do your job. Yeah, you were supposed to block. You were supposed to do this, you know how it is. So they were fighting. And of course, you know, Russell has this big contract. He wasn't going to be the scapegoat. So they had to get rid of Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett was offensive coordinator in Green Bay, if you all remember. So, you know, I thought that he would bring some type of offensive mind to this team. I thought that they would be scoring some points. And when you look at them, they struggled all year really to score points.
Yeah, they did. They did not put up a whole lot of points this year. I guarantee you that. They did not put up a lot of points at all. So they just got a major. They have number one. They got an offensive line that they got to build. Point blank, they got to build an offensive line. That's going to be the key component to get everything started. If you don't have that, you can't do anything else. Eventually, that fact is going to catch up with the Bengals too. Trust me, but.
Well, fellas, we'll see what happens out there. We'll see who they may hire, possible candidate, Dallas defensive coordinator. They're talking about Quinn maybe bringing him in too. So we'll see what happens. You know, but we wish the best for. You know, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. I like Russell, and I like to see them turn that thing around eventually. Well, fellas, let's talk some more football. You know, the playoffs is amongst us. Which teams, when you look at these teams, you know, have been looking at a few games, which teams do you feel like the league should be on notice about? They you know, they ain't trying to see these guys, maybe they in the hunt to get in, or maybe they already in. Which teams do you guys feel, either AFC or NFC, that nobody really wants to play come playoff time?
Right now, there's a bunch of teams right now that you don't want to see. For example, like we talked earlier, I don't think nobody wants to see the 49ers right now. The 49ers defensively and offensively is complete. They are playing straight smash mouth football. Is cut and dry. They're running through people. The other team I think I'll be scared to play right now, believe it or not, is your Packers. I think the Packers are starting to get some things together and understand what their strengths are. And I think Aaron Rodgers is getting a little more faith in his receivers because catching the ball brings confidence. Plain and simple. AFC wise, you know me. I got to stick with my boys. My boys is coming. My boys is coming. The Pittsburgh Steelers are coming. You can't sleep on them. They're a dark horse to get in, but to come from where they're come from, as far as under 500 as we were, and to be in this position, if we make the playoffs, I'm telling you, I'm screaming to the mountains. I'm talking crap to everybody that was dogging my Steelers. Plain and simple. I still wouldn't play the Lions right now either. I still would hate to play the Lions right now. They're playing hungry. They're playing hungry football, for sure. And what's the other team? The Chargers, the other sleeper. San Diego will be my other sleeper that you don't want to see in the AFC right now, even though they have their moments where they struggle defensively and people score points on them like crazy, but they're still a legitimate threat. What you got on MJ?
Yes, sir. I think a team that I wouldn't want to see right now or in the playoffs. Of course, I think the NFC pretty much to me seem like they may be a little stronger right now. You know, with the obvious of Philadelphia, the Cowboys, San Francisco. And then, like you say, you spring in some of those other little teams, you know, like a Detroit, man. Not for sure if I want to play them, especially not in Detroit right about now.
Exactly.
But as far as the AFC, I tell you what, I wouldn't mind playing Buffalo. Buffalo to me, I don't know. I might be one of their biggest critics. I wouldn't mind playing Buffalo. They don't scare me. But a team like you know, in Cincinnati, quiet as it's kept, man. Yeah, they've been grinding it out. They've been running the ball, but you know, hey, getting this time of the year where Joe Burrow can wake up. Them young fellas can wake up and get some damage done. So I wouldn't really want to play them. And then another team I wouldn't want to play, even though their record is not looking all that great, but they starting to figure some stuff out. And that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They starting to figure some things out and starting to get some wins. You know, granted they may not be against 500 or better team, but man, it is a vast improvement. And they've got nothing to play for except for their pride and to spoil somebody playoffs. So you know, that's where I'm at with teams that I wouldn't want to play or see in the playoffs.
Carolina is another team I want to throw into the mix too, fellas. That's a team that, you know, I think you got to watch out for. You got to bring your A game for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, fellas, let's turn our attention to some NFL picks. Let's turn our attention to NFL picks.
You know the upset specialist is ready for that one.
And I'm ready to see what you got, upset specialist. I'm ready
to
right there.
Yes, sir.
Well, week 16, fellas. This is what we're looking at. I want to see what you think about these games. The Dallas Cowboys versus Mike Jones's Tennessee Titans.
I think the Cowboys win that one. It's not going to be close. It'll be a slaughter.
Yeah, the Cowboys win is. I think Mike Vrabel is putting Derrick Henry and them on the shelf, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys in there. They got a lot to play for. They trying their best to catch up with them Eagles, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yep.
All right, fellas, how about the Cardinals and the Falcons?
The battle for futility. Who's playing the worst football right now? Believe it or not, I'm gonna ride with the Falcons on this one. I think I'm gonna ride Falcons with that one. The Cardinals haven't done really anything impressive this year. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm with you, Thomas. I'm gonna ride with the Falcons. Marcus Mariota, he got benched, so they riding with that rookie from I guess he's a rookie from Cincinnati. So I look for the Falcons to get it done.
I got the Falcons in that. The Cardinals just look horrible this year. This has been a bad year for them.
Yeah.
The Dolphins and the Patriots.
I think the dominance of New England is still going to be in effect. I got Miami winning that one. Tua's going to go off on that one.
Tua's in concussion protocol again.
Well, they showed him from what I read this morning. They said he has no signs of concussion.
Well, no signs. Okay.
So if he's under no signs, I think Tua wears them out.
I tell you what, man, I don't know who I can't figure New England out, man. So I don't know. I look for New England, man. I'm gonna look for New England winning.
I'm gonna roll with Miami on this one, only because they've been losing, and I think that they're gonna turn this thing around. I think they'll win this one.
Yeah, they got playoffs. They got playoffs on the mind.
Yes, sir. How about the Saints and the Eagles? Saints and the Eagles.
Is Jalen Hurts available for that game, or are they going to leave him? They're going to leave him down.
I think they still trying to decide on that one.
I still think the Eagles will get it done.
Yep, Eagles.
I got the Eagles in that one. The Eagles are going to take care of business, and they should have took care of business against them Cowboys, but they came close. How about the Colts and the Giants? The Colts and the Giants.
I think the Giants wake up. I think the Giants need a win. This is a game that they need to win badly. I think they win this.
Right, I agree. I think the Colts have shut it down. Giants.
I'm rolling with the Giants on this one too. The Colts just haven't been looking good at all to me. Too up and down. The Panthers and the Buccaneers. Carolina versus Tampa Bay. What you guys like?
Upset specialist number 1 coming up. Carolina shuts it down.
I'm like you, Tom.
Shuts it down.
I'm like you, man. I've been Tom Brady's biggest critic this year. Tampa Bay. Carolina got that running game, man. 300-something yards last week on the ground. They probably gonna get another 3 this week.
I agree with you fellas on that one. Carolina, I got them in this one. Tampa Bay just ain't looking good at all. Not producing, not scoring points. Just looking horrible this year. Not even. You wonder how this team won a Super Bowl. I mean, when you look at them, you say, what?
And what's crazy is they're still the division leader.
Well, that's because that division is kind of bad.
That part.
All right, fellas, the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes picks these guys apart easily. If you thought the Rams ran up 50, you might see a whole nother explosion with Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs, but man, I wouldn't. Sometimes, man, with this firing, sometime and the guy that steps in, sometimes can get a spark out them guys. Kansas wins this game, but I believe Denver's gonna make it a little tough.
I got the Chiefs winning this one. I don't think they'll score 51. I think they'll score about 30. But I think it'll be a competitive game compared to, Denver's last game. Mm-hmm. All right. This is gonna be a good one. The Bears and the Lions. It's gonna be a good one.
Well, I'll tell you like this. I think I like the Lions to win that one. I think I like the Lions to then win that one. They've been playing a lot more solid football than what the Bears have. So I'm gonna give me the Lions in that one.
Right. I'm gonna take the Lions as well, man. I like Fields and all of that, man, but he just has to do too much for them to win. So yeah.
One hit away.
I'm gonna roll with the Lions on that one too as well, fellas. All right, the Browns and the Commanders. What you guys liking?
Upset specialist coming again.
Coming
again.
You got 2 of them.
I look for the Browns to be spoilers.
What?
with the running game, I believe the Browns is going to be the spoilers.
I don't see it, man. Deshaun Watson ain't jailed yet with that squad. This is just a loss, another lost season for the Browns. The Commanders get it done.
I agree with you, Mike Jones. I think I gotta go against the upset specialist too. Hopefully, he don't prove us wrong, man. All right, the Jaguars and the Titans. Jaguars and the Titans.
And the Jags is playing good football right now. The Titans is fading out. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, give me the Jags.
Yeah, the Texans that actually have been a little bit competitive the last few games, but I don't think they're gonna beat the Jaguars. I go with the Jags on this one too. The 49ers and the Raiders.
Raiders get smashed. 49ers, give me the 49ers that one.
Yeah. Give me the 49ers also. They picking up more steam, man. They're going to come into the playoffs, man, rolling downhill.
I'm rolling with the 49ers on that too as well, fellas. I think them Raiders going to be in some trouble.
Big time.
The Jets and the Seahawks. You guys liking in that one?
The Jets them faded out. The Seahawks will win that. Gino will pick them apart.
Tell you what, man, White, I think he starts. They cleared him to play for the Jets. I look for the Jets to win this.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I'm gonna only go with the Seahawks because they're at home. I think this is gonna be a competitive game. I think it's gonna be close. I'm going with the Seahawks. All right, the Vikings and my Green Bay Packers. Who you guys liking in that one?
Upset specialist coming again.
Uh-oh.
Give me the Pack. Give me the Pack. They hungry. They trying to get in the playoffs. They got to do what they got to do. Give me the Pack.
I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one, man. I hate to do it to you, Jones, but yeah, Minnesota.
Feel bad for you, Mike Jones. The Pack is back. I'm going with the Packers. Going with the Packers, Mike. Got to go with my Packers, man. I think they hungry right now, and they got a little thing. They rolling right now. Got a little fire burning. I think they'll win this one, and they remember what happened early in the season, so I think they're going to beat the Vikings. All right, the Rams and the Chargers. Who you guys liking in that one? Rams and Chargers.
I think the Chargers bring the Rams back down to earth. After that 51-point performance, I think the Chargers light them up. Give me the Chargers on that one.
I don't know, man. Is Baker Mayfield back? Is he back for real? I look for the Rams, man, to win this.
Baker was back playing a bad football team.
Yeah, I think that Denver was just that bad. They made Baker look that good. So I'm going to have to go with the Chargers, man. I really like this young football team, man. And I think they're a pretty good team, man. All right, the Steelers and the Ravens.
Upset specialist number 4. The black and yellow winning a squeaker, returning the favor.
Ooh. I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one, man. Going with the Ravens.
Man, I feel like the Ravens going to squeak this one out. I'm going with the Ravens on this one too as well, Mike. All right, the Bills and the Bengals. The Bills and the Bengals. This one going to be a good one, fellas.
Nah, it won't.
Thanks, Thomas. Thanks.
Nah, it won't. If you look at the body of work as of the last couple of weeks, the Bengals have been lighting it up. And Buffalo is suspect right now. I got the Bengals winning this game.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you, Thomas. I'm looking for Cincinnati, man, to unleash that ground attack and throw when they need to. And I look for pressure to be put on the quarterback. Cincinnati in this one.
Fellas, y'all gonna tell me I was right. when the Bills win this game. I'm rolling with the Bills. And I'm telling you, they're gonna put pressure on your boy Broadway Joe, and they're gonna make it hard for him.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that.
I'm rolling with the Bills on this one.
But I think Burrow's good under pressure.
We're gonna see. We shall see, fellas. Want to shout out J.J. Watts. J.J. Watts is retired, fellas. He said he's played this is going to be his final season in the NFL. Want to shout out him. Want to shout out we had a passing Franco Harris, the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers legend. Want to shout out his family and give them our condolences and to that
Steeler
organization.
Nation, baby. Steeler Nation, we miss you, brother.
It's been a real one, fellas. And you all can catch us right here. Say again.
Shout out also to Ed Reed getting the job at Bethune-Cookman.
Exactly. Congratulations, Ed. We want to also tell you guys you can catch us here on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitter. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Instagram, 234 Sports Talk. Till the next time.
Topic. Hit us up and let us talk about it. We'll get you covered.
Exactly. Interact with us. We want to talk to you. We want to hear from you. Whether you agree or disagree, we want to talk to you.
That's what we do.
It's been a real one. 234 Sports Talk. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.